Okay, so I'm gonna make a video about my two bikes that I race with. And I'm at like a pretty beginner stage compared to some people. I mean, there's 20-year-olds winning 100-mile races, but I'm doing like 36 with this bike. I raced this bike twice this summer, maybe going up for a third time. Here's what a sticker looks like, and I have the Bontrager bike computer here. It works great. This used to be this was the first bike I bought for 300 bucks. I mean, it works great. A bike for 300 bucks. The only thing that doesn't really work is that, well, it does work. It makes a lot of noise. But this is a gravel bike. I raced this maybe twice already. I just got done with that race. But yeah, this has the geometry of a gravel bike, gravel tires, and kind of, they call it an all-around bike, to where there's other bikes like a road bike that's more for the road. But I mean, all bikes are kind of all-around bikes. You can ride anywhere with them, but it's just that this one is called a gravel bike, Ozark Trail bike. But this is probably the cheapest around. But with a Bontrager seat, which is very comfy, better than an ordinary seat, I have noticed. It's better than a Trek or a Trek bike. It's a lot comfier than those ordinary seats. It kind of has gel in it. But I'm gonna go on a little bit of gravel with this to show you that it is a gravel bike. And I have these riding shoes for the gravel bike, Shimano, that I bought, and those are on the cheap end, but they work really great. And you're gonna see with my other bike that, look at all this mud I'm going through, but you're gonna see with my other bike that I don't have clip-ins for that bike. And you would think that you would want the clip-ins for the road bike, but you know, they have pros and cons too. Yeah, my feet are locked into the bike, so I am kind of stuck to it, and that's pretty dangerous. But might help you go a little bit faster uphill. But gravel bikes, you know, you're usually riding on gravel to where there's nobody around. And road bikes, there are going to be people, like cars around and stuff, because you're driving in the city. So maybe that's why you would want no clip-ins on the road bike, but clip-ins on a gravel bike, you know. But yeah, and that is the gravel bike. Okay, so as I hop on to this road bike, there's some differences, like my shoes. I'm wearing these very basic shoes. They're a lot like cleats I have on the gravel bike. They're very basic, you know, but I don't mind. They're pretty nice because you can feel everything like a cleat, because they're very basic. You don't want shoes that have a bunch of foam in them, like a running shoe, because it just makes it unstable and it's not very great. You want a very basic shoe, like any shoe. You know, these shoes are not much cheap. But this is a Trek, a little bit more expensive than a gravel bike. But I still got it for 300 bucks, but it's still a couple years old. It's not new, the Ozark Trail bike. This is probably like 10 years old, but it's still a great road bike. It's got that smooth feel to it. And I've used it once racing in triathlon with these bars. You see these bars, aero bars, on a tri bike a lot. That's kind of what I use it for. I've rode the longest outdoor with this bike. Indoor, I've gone like 4 hours as far as time. I don't remember how long it was, but I went like 40 miles with this. one time not too long ago on the road. Places you ride with this are like maybe like the interstate, around the road, on the road with cars on the side of the road. But you gotta manage cars and stuff and let them pass because they go drive faster than you. But you can drive to all the towns around wherever you live. And but yeah, it's a fast bike. You got the road tires, and you got the road geometry and the clearance. But you can't really tell the difference between them because they're so similar. It's geometry. What it means is the frame of it. So like this. It's the dimensions are different, and they also feel different. But I know when I was trying to find a road bike, it's hard to spend that money because you think you can just change a gravel bike for a road bike. But like you could just use a gravel bike for a road bike. You could, because gravel bikes can go anywhere. But this feels a little bit different. And vice versa, you could use a road bike for a gravel bike. But it's not what's best, it's what's decent. And it's okay to go with that. Yeah, I'm sure. And Bontrager again. And I got the Yahoo speed sensor that connects to your phone right here. And that's what I have right now. There's always those bike computers, expensive bike computers. But the two bike computers I have on my bikes were around like 80 bucks, I think. So, but they work. They track and stuff. But like Garmin has some for like 400 bucks. Not really worth the price. You know, you might want that on a brand new expensive bike, which I have neither. My Ozark Trail bike is new and cheap, and this bike's old and more expensive bike that I got for cheap. This is what I'm working with right now. It's a good way to start is start with the cheap stuff. And if you want to upgrade, if you're interested in upgrading, and if you use it enough, you would maybe upgrade. But those are my two bikes that I ride. So